Paige, that was a discriminatory comment to make. What you were saying is that students who have parents who are homosexual shouldn't be allowed to participate in activities that support their child, other students, and teachers at the school. You were sending the message that homosexual parents shouldn't be allowed to voice their opinion as a member of the PTO board. I've actually built great relationships with former students, homosexual parents in the past. I'd love to share with you how similar their goals are for student success. It's the same as for heterosexual parents, a single parent, or a student with more than two parents. Paige, why would you say that? So you're telling me that you'd prefer not having parents be on the PTO board or planning a pizza party because they are physically attracted to individuals of the same sex? How would you feel if heterosexuality wasn't the norm and people spoke negatively about you because of it? You all need to stop talking about the parents of our students and be grateful that they're stepping up to support their child, other students, and teachers at this school. A couple of weeks ago, a colleague of mine said in the lounge that she cannot watch a certain television series that she once enjoyed because of the display of affection of gay and lesbian couples. She said that it grosses her out. At first, I didn't say anything because this colleague is very feisty and opinionated, and I didn't want to deal with the repercussions of her wrath if I said anything other than the fact that I agreed with her. After she spoke about it for a while, I did say, "So what you're saying is that you really don't want to see any couples showing affection publicly, not just homosexual couples, right?" I could see the light bulb go off that it was any form of intense public affection that she was uncomfortable watching, not only homosexual ones. I wish I would have made my comments sooner rather than when I did, so that maybe she wouldn't have elaborated so much on how gross it was to watch. There are quite a few new teachers to our school that we know nothing about. That could have very well offended one of them, and it may have, but no one made a comment saying the such. Alice and Judy, what data helped you facilitate this faulty assumption? Your comment about students that attend other middle schools not having the skills to be academically successful in this magnet program is sending the message that only a certain racial group or groups of students are academically capable of being successful in the magnet program. You are not giving minorities from other middle schools the opportunity to prove that they can meet the challenges that this magnet program offers. I recently heard that one of the Student of the Year nominees attends XYZ Middle School. I think she'd be the perfect candidate who would thrive here. I'd be more than happy to set up a time where you both can go to XYZ Middle School so that you can reach out to students like her who would be a perfect match for the magnet program. Alice and Judy, this is discrimination and it needs to be reported ASAP. You can't just leave out a group of students from telling them about the magnet program. If they don't even know about it, how can they get an opportunity to try and see if they're a good fit? Come on, let's go to Mr. Principal's office and tell him that you two are pretty much handpicking the students that attend here and are leaving out groups of students that you don't even think will succeed. I believe that the achievement gap is primarily caused by biased beliefs about students of particular ethnic groups and low socioeconomic status. This may be partly due to the school quality that students from low socioeconomic status currently attend or have attended in the past. The school they attend or attended may lack programs like gifted programs, have a lower number of skilled and experienced teachers, or have fewer challenging curricula, which all affect a school's quality. Higher poverty schools have fewer of these resources, which may be a reason why there is an achievement gap. Students with a lower socioeconomic status are more inclined to have less learning opportunities in their homes and in their neighborhoods. Access to preschool, after-school programs, and a range of other resources, typically available to higher income students, may play a role in the achievement gap. Because it seems as though all students need access to computers and calculators in order to score higher on math assessments, we need to brainstorm ways to make sure that all students have the same opportunities to achieve success. Students from low socioeconomic and Native American backgrounds did not receive the required resources needed to potentially earn comparable scores on homework assignments, as well as on math assessments. Students cannot and should not be penalized if they are unable to provide the tangible resources necessary to succeed in math. With that being said, we need to decide how to be sure that every student has these vital resources available to them. After a considerable amount of time researching this topic, I'd like to offer some valuable recommendations. To address calculators, one thing that math teachers can do is reserve an allotted amount of time each class period for students to work on the math problems that require calculator usage. The remaining problems that do not require a calculator could be completed at home. If we agree to proceed with this proposal, math teachers should have a set of calculators available for students to check out should they want to take one home to review for a quiz, test, or practice extra problems. We can decide on a policy as far as the duration that students can check out calculators, consequences if they are returned broken or not returned at all, and the such if we agree to move forward with this recommendation. Because computer usage is required to complete homework and succeed on math assessments, we must decide how to be sure that every student has the same opportunity to access one. A short-term proposal could be to open up the computer lab 30 minutes before school and 1 hour after school, 3 to 4 days a week. If we agree upon this strategy, I will contact the essential personnel to plan for bus transportation for at least the days students stay after school. This proactive approach should eliminate any concern about getting students from school to home on time and safely. We can create a schedule where all teachers can rotate taking turns to monitor students before and after school. If there are any teachers interested in taking on more than a minimum before and after school assignment, a stipend will be granted at the end of each quarter. A long-term proposal would be to apply for grants so that we can purchase laptops for students to use at home if one is not available to them. We can also reach out to our community for support. The nearby plants appreciate a student's academic education, as these students will soon be a part of the workforce. Because it seems as though all students need access to computers and calculators in order to score higher on math assessments, we need to make sure that all parents are aware of and agree that they are responsible for making sure their child has these resources available to them. But before distributing out your next grade level letter to parents, be sure to include that they are responsible for providing these resources for their child outside of school. Attach a signature sheet to the letter and have parents sign and return it so that we can have it on file that they are aware of their responsibilities. Next year, math teachers can include this in their class syllabus so that parents know this ahead of time. As long as they know this, we as teachers, a school, and a district are not held liable if parents don't provide a computer or laptop and calculator to their child. This is an example of equity. There should be an equitable distribution or access to computers or laptops and calculators to the students or residents, irrespective of race, ethnicity, or cultural background. Students should not be penalized if their parents or guardians do not supply them with a computer or calculator and should not receive a lower homework grade because of it. If not using a computer or calculator at home is the reason that they scored lowest on math assessments, then accommodations need to be made so that these groups of students receive an equitable opportunity to score at or above the same level as their majority counterpart.